Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're going to explore something a little different.
Different indeed.
That's right. We're going to take a look at Michelin,
The tire company.
the one and only.
Yeah.
And more specifically, we're going to look at how they've managed to stay at the forefront of innovation for well over a century.
Because you might not think of tires as being particularly, innovative.
Yeah, not something that usually comes to mind when you're thinking about cutting-edge technology.
But Michelin's story, it's really a fascinating example of turning challenges into opportunities.
And creating a really sustainable innovation engine.
That's the key, and that's what we are going to unpack today.
We found a great YouTube video all about Michelin's journey, from their very beginnings to their ambitions to even reach the moon.
To the moon.
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious.
Well, we're going to explore how Michelin's core activities and practices have driven their success.
And we'll see if we can extract some principles that can be applied to any industry.
Absolutely, because good innovation management, that's universal.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a blueprint for building your own innovation engine.
At least that's the goal.
But first, let's take a trip back in time
Way back.
to the late 1800s,
Okay.
when two brothers
André and Edouard Michelin.
inherited a struggling rubber factory.
Can you imagine inheriting a business that's nearly bankrupt? What would you do?
I don't know, throw in the towel.
Well, not the Michelin brothers.
They were determined.
They saw opportunity in bicycles.
Okay, so they decided to make bicycle tires.
Well, they didn't just make bicycle tires. They invented the first detachable pneumatic tire.
That sounds pretty innovative.
At the time, tires were glued to the rim, which made repairs
Oh, I bet that was a pain.
a nightmare. So their invention, it was a game changer.
Making bikes more practical and comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And this problem-solving mindset, this focus on making things better for the customer, that became a cornerstone of Michelin's innovation strategy.
Okay, I see, that makes sense.
And then a few years later, they adapted their pneumatic tire for cars
So they took their innovation from one industry,
and applied it to another.
revolutionizing an entire industry.
Once again, they even designed a car.
A car. To show off their tires.
Exactly. They called it Leclerc, and it was specifically designed to showcase their tires.
Oh, smart. A rolling advertisement.
And it worked. They understood the importance of marketing their innovation and demonstrating its value to customers.
So they were already thinking holistically back then.
Absolutely. But it didn't stop there. They didn't just make great tires.
They also made the Michelin Guide.
Now, that's a real head-scratcher.
Who would have thought a tire company would venture into the world of restaurants?
Seems a little out there, right?
Maybe.
But it was actually a brilliant example of strategic thinking.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The Michelin Guide encouraged people to take road trips.
Which meant they needed more tires.
Exactly.
So clever.
They were thinking about the entire customer journey, not just the product itself.
Okay, so that long-term vision,
Yeah.
that's another key element of their success.
It's crucial. They were always looking ahead, anticipating future trends and needs.
Always thinking ahead.
And that brings us to another milestone, 1946, the radial tire.
The radial tire, what's so special about that?
The radial tire was a major leap forward in tire technology.
Like how?
Longer lifespan, fuel efficiency, and a safer driving experience.
That's a trifecta.
And it quickly became the industry standard.
They weren't afraid to challenge the status quo.
Absolutely, and that same spirit of innovation is still alive and well at Michelin today.
So how does Michelin approach innovation in the modern world? What are those activities and practices that keep them at the forefront of their industry?
Well, they have three main objectives that drive their innovation engine.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first one is sustainable mobility.
Makes sense. Tires and cars have a big impact on the environment.
Absolutely, they recognize that, and they're committed to minimizing their impact.
So what does that look like in practice?
We'll take the cross-climate tire, for example.
All-season tire.
Exactly. It was the first tire that was certified for both summer and winter use.
So fewer tire changes, less waste.
And it's a more convenient for customers.
Right, you don't have to swap out your tires twice a year.
It's a win-win. It addresses sustainability and customer needs at the same time.
I like it. And they're not just focused on car tires, right?
Right, they're looking at the bigger picture.
Didn't they develop some kind of inflatable wing sail?
You're thinking of Wissamo. It's designed for large cargo ships to reduce fuel consumption.
And emissions.
Yep, so they're thinking about sustainability across different modes of transportation.
They're not just sitting in their labs tinkering with tire treads.
Not at all, and they're not afraid to partner with others.
Oh, you mean like open innovation?
Exactly.
I've heard that term, but I'm not really sure what it means.
It means collaborating with external partners like universities, startups, even competitors.
Really? Competitors?
Sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places.
I guess that's true.
Open innovation is about tapping into a wider pool of expertise
So it's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers.
and being willing to learn from others.
Makes sense.
Michelin even has these dedicated spaces called Michelin Innovation Labs, or MINLs for short.
Oh, I read about those.
They're hubs for open innovation. They bring together people from different backgrounds and disciplines.
Like a melting pot of ideas.
Exactly. And it's not just about tires anymore. It's about the future of mobility as a whole.
So they're thinking big picture.
The world is changing rapidly, and Michelin is embracing that change.
Especially with all this digital transformation that's happening.
Yeah, that's a huge part of their strategy. They're using technology to create smarter, more efficient products and enhance the customer experience.
So give me an example, like how are they actually using digital technology?
Well, imagine this. You're driving down the road,
Okay, I'm imagining.
and your tire warns you about a potential issue.
Wait, what? How is that even possible?
They've embedded RFID tags and sensors into their tires.
So the tires are talking to the car.
In a way, yes, the sensors monitor tire pressure, temperature, wear and tear, and all that data can be sent to your smartphone.
That's so cool.
It's all about providing real-time information and making driving safer and more efficient.
So it's not just about the physical product anymore. It's about the data and the services that surround it.
Precisely, and that's a key part of their digital transformation strategy.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. They seem to be really good at balancing those big picture long-term goals with the day-to-day realities of running a business.
That's a great observation, and it's one of the things that makes Michelin so successful.
It can't be easy to juggle all those different priorities.
It's not, but they've managed to find a balance.
They're not just focused on radical futuristic innovation, they're also masters of incremental improvement.
It's what we call organizational ambidexterity.
So they're keeping their current business strong while also exploring new opportunities.
Exactly like a juggler keeping multiple balls in the air at the same time.
And sometimes that means making some tough choices.
Like their decision to leave Formula One racing.
Yeah, that seemed like a strange move.
Maybe, but it was a strategic decision that aligned with their core values.
How so?
Formula One racing is all about extreme performance and single-use tires. It didn't really fit with Michelin's commitment to sustainability and real-world solutions.
So they were willing to walk away from a high-profile platform.
To stay true to their principles,
That's pretty impressive.
it shows that they're serious about sustainability and that they're willing to make tough choices to achieve their goals.
So we've seen how Michelin balances sustainability, customer focus, and market leadership. But how do they actually put these principles into practice? What are the nuts and bolts of their innovation engine?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll explore in more detail in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and unpack the specifics of Michelin's innovation process. Okay, so we're back and ready to dig into the nitty-gritty of Michelin's innovation process.
Where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
I see what you did there. But seriously, what are the key ingredients that make their innovation engine hum?
Well, first off, it's not just about those random bursts of inspiration, the eureka moments.
You mean it's not all about brainstorming crazy ideas?
Brainstorming has its place, but it's only a small part of the picture.
Okay, so what's the bigger picture then?
Michelin has cultivated a culture of innovation.
It's woven into the fabric of the company.
Exactly. It's not just about having a fancy R&D department. It's about embedding innovation into everything they do.
And that's where those Michelin Innovation Labs come in, right? The MILs?
Right. Those MLs are designed to be collaborative spaces.
Where ideas can flow freely?
Both internally and externally, they bring together people from different departments, different backgrounds.
So it's not just engineers in a silo, it's a cross-pollination of ideas.
Exactly. And they encourage experimentation and risk-taking.
So it's okay to fail.
Failure is a learning opportunity. It's part of the process.
I like that philosophy.
They also invest heavily in research and development.
How heavily are we talking?
We're talking massive budget. Thousands of experts working in specialized centers all over the world.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to innovation.
Absolutely. But it's not just about throwing money at the problem. It's about having a clear strategy and a well-defined process.
So how do they make sure all these different initiatives are aligned and working towards the same goals?
That's where their organizational structure comes in. They have a decentralized approach to innovation.
Decentralized, meaning what exactly?
Meaning they give individual teams and business units a lot of autonomy.
So it's not just a top-down, do this, do that kind of approach.
Not at all. They trust their people to make decisions and drive innovation from the ground up.
I can see how that would make them more agile and responsive to change.
And it all starts with strong leadership.
Leaders who champion innovation and create a culture that encourages creativity.
Absolutely. It's about setting the right tone from the top and empowering people at every level to think outside the box.
I think what's really inspiring about Michelin is that they're not just focused on profits. They're genuinely committed to making the world a better place through sustainable mobility.
That's a key part of their identity. They want to be a force for good in the world.
So for all our listeners out there who are trying to figure out how to approach innovation in their own companies or in their own lives, what's the one big takeaway from Michelin's journey?
I think the biggest takeaway is that innovation is a journey, not a destination.
It's not about finding that one magic formula.
It's about building a system, a culture, a mindset that embraces continuous improvement.
It's about being willing to experiment, to take risks, to learn from your failures.
And to never stop questioning the status quo.
And remember, inspiration can come from anywhere.
Look outside your own industry, talk to people from different backgrounds, explore different perspectives.
Michelin's story proves that even a company with over a century of history can still be a leader in innovation.
As long as they're willing to adapt and evolve.
Well said. Well, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Michelin's incredible innovation journey,
We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
and that you learned a thing or two about what it takes to build a truly sustainable innovation engine.
Remember, innovation is a journey, and it's a journey that we can all take together.
So keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive on your company's innovation story.
That's right. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.